Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. What if I told you that silver is priceless? No matter who says that 1 ounce silver coin is worth what, that's irrelevant because the coin's value is based upon the metal inside of it, not the spot price attached to it. What I'm saying is that silver has no value. Silver's true value is unknown. No matter how many dollars you throw at silver, it will never be worth it. The dollar is losing its purchasing power. Silver holds its value. It's like putting your money in a time capsule. $26 can buy you an ounce of silver right now, but in the future, $26 won't be able to. The dollar is losing its purchasing power, but 1 ounce of silver will always have 1 ounce of silver inside of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So before we jump deeper into this topic, before we dive deep into this incredibly fun and educational subject, I want to share something. This is my merch store. If you love precious metals and want to express your passion, this is the place to go. I have tons of different types of stuff, new stuff launched. If you want to, share your passion, look fashionable doing it, link in the description. So with that said, let's dive deeper into this topic. I hope the intro allowed me to give some context on where I'm heading in this video, right? Silver is intrinsical. It has intrinsic value, meaning it has value within itself. You can see how the dollar doesn't. Once upon a time, the dollar was backed by gold and silver, so it did, but now it's not backed by anything, simply off of faith, simply off of speculation. That's dangerous. You can see that the dollar is only worth as much as people think it is. So if people start to think it's not worth much, then it literally isn't worth much. That's scary, especially since the US dollar is the world's reserve currency, and the US is now being exposed of how broke we are because of this pandemic. So this article is very well written. You're gonna love this. He dives deep. He's been a silver bug for 18 years, all in on silver for 18 years. People have doubted him, shunned him, everything under the sun, but he stayed true. And right now, he's feeling vindicated, right? So let's jump into this article. Ned Naylor Leyland has been all in on silver for over 18 years, earning derision along the way from fellow investors favoring the more glamorous gold, right? Gold is king. Everyone looks at gold as the royal metal, but that's not always the case. Doesn't mean it's always going to be more profitable. Now with silver's price skyrocketing 51% this year, he's got reason to feel vindicated. The manager of the $1 billion Marion Gold and Silver Fund in London proudly calls himself a silver bug, a term describing an investor whose fervor for the precious metal is more extreme than the typical bullion enthusiast. I'm definitely a silver bug. Let me know if you are as well. The bugs foresee a crash of the fiat cash system in the aftermath of unprecedented monetary stimulus, putting silver back in play as the viable currency. Their core tenet is that gold's cheaper, more volatile cousin will continue surging in value. I have been waiting since 2002 for the inevitable demise of this monetary system. Naylor said, "I've been standing there waving on the top of a hill for the last 20 years and suddenly everyone's pointing at me saying, that man's a genius." And that's so true. The same thing happens to silver stackers. We get the last laugh. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And it's blatantly obvious. The signs are blatantly obvious, right? It's just some people want to be ignorant, closed-minded, don't want to look at certain people's perspectives or ideas, and it's going to cost them. They have plenty of forebears. The Coinage Act of 1873 demonetized the metal in the U.S., sparking backlash against the government and allegations of corruption from the civil rights. The most notorious speculators were the Hunt brothers, right? They tried to corner the silver market. 3 sons of a Texas oil billionaire whose fear of inflation and belief in the metal as a store of wealth prompted them to try to corner the global market in 1980. Hence, that time is not, that year is not coincidental. That's also when silver was $50. I wonder why. They stockpiled more than 200 million ounces, driving the price to $49 $2.45 before it crashed below $11. Now the bugs are having another moment. The metal has had an outstanding year with its gain almost double gold. The rise has come off the back of the weakening dollar, plunging real rates, and geopolitical tensions, all of which give investors motivation to seek in safe haven precious metals, right? But that gain is nothing to most silver bugs, who foresee even higher prices because they believe more people will lose faith in the value of the government-issued currency. And this is where I want to say pause. This is true. Yes, silver's around $27, $28, $29. But this is nothing. This is pennies to the dollar. Silver has much more value than $26, like I said in the beginning of this video. Hold $26 in your left hand. Hold a 1 ounce silver coin in your right hand. Tell me which has more value, especially knowing how beneficial silver is in the everyday technological world. So just read the Reddit message board with 47,000 members or the online silver forum with almost 12,000. Shout out to the silver forum. They actually sponsored my last giveaway as well. Silver got its animal instincts back, right? People have spotted it and they're interested in it. Anytime the price of silver is low, everyone doubts it, everyone shames it. It's a bear market, it's a bad investment, don't buy silver. But then when the price rises, it gains attraction and attention, and then everyone flocks to it, usually paying the higher price, because after the price rises, that's when everyone starts buying it, pushing it higher. That's when me and you sell our silver, right? And that's when most people buy it. But the point is that silver is a small market, so that it's more volatile. When money comes into silver, it adjusts the price at very extreme rates, where gold isn't as extreme because it's a much bigger market. So not everyone is on board, though. Jeffrey Christian, manager director of New York-based commodities research, says they heard the story before. These guys have been waiting for the collapse of the global financial system for 40 to 50 years. Nothing you can do to make them think they're looking at the world the wrong way. And I could disagree with that for so many reasons. Yes, you could put on your tinfoil hat and say the dollar's collapsing, but that's not a conspiracy. Go to usdebtclock.org and look at the literal counter of $26 trillion that were in debt. Look at the literal countries opting out of the USD as their reserve currency because we are now exposed that we're broke. America is poor. The richest country is actually poor. This is real stuff. This isn't a gimmick. This isn't a speculative rumor or myth. It's fact. In one point, the system is going to have to collapse. Every fiat-based system has collapsed. Everyone is designed to collapse. The inflation can't just go to the moon. The debt can't just go to the moon. It has to end somewhere. The system will come full circle and be terminated, and gold and silver, or anything with actual value, will be the ones left standing, right? What the world's going to look like after the crash, I made a video about it yesterday or the day before. Go check it out if you want to hear my perspective of that. So anyways, the disciples point to evidence suggesting they're right. Physical silver bars, the preferred investment vehicle for die-hard bugs, currently are in short supply, with refiners struggling to keep with demand from dealers. And that's so true. We see the silver shortage everywhere. U.S. Mint sold out of American Eagles. Several day delays on these online bullion markets, the dealers. Everything is crazy right now because everyone wants to get a slice of the silver pie. The delays can also be attributed to silver being less valuable than gold. So smelting enough bars to produce a quantity worth investing is more labor intensive. Whatever production there was took another hit when refineries shut down earlier this year because of the pandemic. Especially countries like Mexico and Peru that accumulate 40% of the global silver production being hit hard by the pandemic, having to shut down mines. If the mines, or when the mines did reopen, minimal workers, transportation, it was way harder because of the boundaries, the borders and the boundaries. It was crazy, right? So silver was pushed to a halt, but that's when the demand was the highest because the price is exploding. So more people wanted to buy silver, but it couldn't get to them. So there's a huge shortage. That's why the premiums were so high. That's why you were seeing, $40, $50 for an American Eagle when spot price was only $20, $30. That's crazy. Usually American Eagles have a spot price, usually a $2 to $3 premium above spot price. But now people are paying $20, $30 above spot price. So for the silver bug favorite like coins, investors are paying far more than spot price to get a hold of them. And that's what I was just talking about. So premiums, this guy says, premiums for American Eagles and Maple Leaf coins are currently about to double the usual due to scarcity. Retail investors' thirst for silver is also tapping into exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, which added more than 8,800 tons of the metal this year. They're particularly popular with the Robinhood Markets crowd, which prefers to invest digitally rather than by purchasing bars and coins. Now, this is a dangerous way to go, because remember I said the dollar is collapsing. Remember I said in 20 years from now, where the dollar could be is nowhere. So ETFs could also be nowhere. If you're investing in things like stock markets, ETFs, that's still pegged by the dollar, you're missing the whole point. The dollar won't exist. The dollar's losing its value. So you want to invest in the precious metals, not something else that's pegged to the dollar. That's contradicting. That's going backwards, right? So anyways, but to the old-fashioned silver bugs, ETFs aren't worth the paper or smartphone screen they're written on, right? That's so true. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. If you are not holding that silver coin in your own hand, then you don't own it. Some third-party custodian with your silver halfway across the world owns it, not you. What if there is an emergency? Are you really going to be able to get that coin? Or does that coin really exist halfway across the world in some vault? I highly doubt it. They'll tell you it's there, but is it really there? No. So the alleged funds are backed by metal that doesn't exist and are a tool designed by banks to absorb investor demand and curb prices. What I was just saying. In this market, the only thing that counts is physical. So, and it's so true. Co-founder of hedge fund Gold Arrow Capital Management, who quit in 2011 to run a firm investing in silver miners, physical gold in your own possession. Couldn't have said it any better. If you cannot hold it, you do not own it. Anyways, let me know what you thought about this article. Do you understand the priceless aspect of silver? Do you understand that silver's price is literally unknown? No amount of money, no amount of US dollars could ever equal or amount to an ounce of silver. So that means that if you have a lot of money, you aren't really rich, but if you have a lot of silver, you are. And that's because if you look at it from a single day-to-day standpoint, this moment in time in history, then you could say that, you could argue that, but in the future, if you're looking at the potential, the longevity of it, it's obvious. Gold and silver will always hold its value, but the dollar won't. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video. I thought it was a very good, interesting topic. If you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least just entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I also want to shout out my merch store, link in the description. If you love precious metals, want to express your passion and look fashionable doing it, link in the description. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.